Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Winter Cup Quarterfinals. My name is Taboshi. I'm joined today by Opie Wrights.
Hello, hello.
And we've got Slappy Davis as our host and observer today. We are about ready to figure out the top four for the Winter Cup. It's been a hell of a tournament so far, but it looks like the Final Four might be somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, for sure. From the matches we had yesterday, we know one side of the matchup on each of these sides of the semifinals. So we don't have any one semifinal matchup known yet. It's going to be myself versus the winner of today's second match, Screwloose versus Minirek, and then Urand versus the winner of this match we're about to cast, which is actually happening live right now. Tflameee versus Banana Bread.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. We always like live casts. It always adds a little bit of extra drama to things. We do have the draft ready to go as well for Tflameee versus Banana Bread. It looks like Tflameee won the coin flip, so chooses first and chooses House Party, which is modern redwoods, high rise, and veranda.
And this one's high rise 3 of 5. There are two different types of high rise, which actually becomes relevant because Banana Bread chooses Roving Through a Window, which includes Gallery, Pub 3 of 5, High Rise 4 of 8, and Ballroom 4 of 8.
Yep, absolutely. And it looks like Banana Bread is going to ban out Redwoods, and Tflameee is going to ban out High Rise 4 of 8.
Yeah, which is really interesting. I think usually you might expect more to see a ban of High Rise 3 of 5, but High Rise 4 of 8 hasn't been seen a lot, and maybe just Tflamee's not comfortable on it as a setup. So,
yep. Either way, we've got Waving Through a Window going first with Banana Bread on the Sniper. So that means we're going to be starting things out on Gallery 4 of 8. We've got Tflameee on the Spy. We've got Banana Bread on the Sniper. I think it's time to get the first match of the day underway in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Tflameee has been doing really, really well in a lot of different tournaments recently. I wouldn't say out of nowhere. Everyone knew Tflamee's been a pretty good player for a long time now, but the kind of results we've been seeing, I think, exceed expectations in a lot of ways. And Tflameee has, just had these nice runs through the bracket. Got out, I believe, first in his group, and then went just kind of tore through the first two matches in the bracket stage to get to here.
Tflameee will pick up 26% on the early flirt here in the back, but hasn't been able to get a whole lot going after that. So it's a relatively slow start, but getting that early flirt is always nice, even if it's not an amazing one.
Yeah, and on the other hand, Banana Bread's a fairly new player. I believe their first competitive event was this past STL, and actually joined Tflameee in Copper. So they were in the same division, and they do have a match together previously because of that. If I can find what happened in that match, Tflameee did really well in Copper, so I'm pretty sure he won that. Yes,
a little bit of weird bouncing against the ambassador, on the way outside, so has to redirect and winds up at a statue for the first pair of inspects. So a highlight to go along with all of that. It's certainly not the start Tflameee was looking for.
Yeah, it's not super fun to just be an early highlight for statues, especially when you haven't even gotten that much floor progress, and you've already spent like 2 minutes, half the venue time, just to get this progress. We're going to be seen returning a briefcase, but it's not even printable. And yet, Tflameee, as I mentioned, won their first matchup 7-4 in SCL. So we'll see if he can continue that streak here. But Banana Bread has been, I think also outperforming expectations in a lot of ways coming out of this tournament. beat Koopa in a really close 10-8, beat Beanie in another really close 11-9 scoreline. Like these both of their matches so far have gone to overtime in the bracket stage, and they've been able to clutch it out so far. So clearly, someone who can handle the pressure.
Tflameee just jumped outside looking for a flirt, but wasn't able to find a way into conversation, so had to actually go to the window and take a time ad because he was so low on the clock. It's been a difficult start for Tflameee so far, but that time ad might be able to bring him a little bit farther back into this game. We've got just over a minute and 45 seconds to play and not a whole lot of progress. So even with that time ad, Tflamee's going to have to move.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's always the ability to try to go and say, okay, I'm going to play this slowly. I'm going to say, I'm not even a contact. I'm not going to give you that kind of relief of a lot of lowlights because contact almost always will have quite a few lowlights to grab on gallery, which makes the party a lot easier to handle. Tflameee is keeping it chaotic. Lots of highlights so far for these statue visitors. Lots and lots of information to take in for Banana Bread, and the more of that you have, this is a really cheeky microfilm here. Just kind of went bookcase to bookcase almost, and I don't think it was noticed. This is
Oh
the
my
big
god,
thing.
that's safety off of the queen as well. The microfilm just went down. He managed to get a green flirt in there as well, so he's up to 77% on that, which means he's
Banana bread.
guaranteed to get the flirt done in one more if he's quick about it. Queen gets Lowlit, who has just had the safety off on her. That's a lot of lowlights coming out from that contact. And this game has been flipped completely on its head. 35 seconds to play. We're back into statues for the last inspect. All we need is to finish up this flirt, but that is far from a given on this venue.
Yeah, our ST is actually returning briefcase right now, which is probably the worst place an ST can be when you're trying to get your last flirt. But the thing is, Tflameee used that visual chaos and the amount of attention Vanderbilt had to be paying to the rest of the party to its maximum effect, getting that microphone completely clean. So I think that if the ST just lands somewhere, we'll have a way to. Oh my god, we have to go for a bug. We go for another bug. It misses the first time.
Way out! I think he's come away clean! 3 seconds! There's no reaction from Banana Bread! It is overtime, but that's not enough! And Tflameee, out of nowhere, manages to pick up game number 1.
Wow. That's. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That's actually incredible. What is going on?
It took 2 attempts for the bug. It was, oh my god, that was crazy. I'm a little bit surprised neither of those got caught up, but they weren't actually that visible out in the front there. It was pretty good arm work. Holy heck. What a game to start things out. It certainly wasn't the cleanest. It was a game that we managed to finish completely without the flirt, which is even more impressive.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the big thing uh, about this microphone just saved the game. And the fact that we didn't take this contact for a long time, we just let the pressure build on Banana Bread, and we finally go in for this microfilm. If we had contacted and had, we had like 7 or 8 lowlights, maybe that's a little bit high, but like 6 lowlights in this party, uh, going, already, I don't think we get away with that microfilm as easily as we did. But in the end, is really the critical breaking point for this missions win, even though we didn't end up getting that flirt.
Oh man, good stuff. Into the next one, we've got Banana Bread on the spy side looking to answer back versus Tflameee Sniper. On the second round of Gallery, any 4 of 8 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right. Banana Bread needs to find an answer to that first game win out of Tflameee. Tflameee very nearly timed out there, but went for a bit of a desperation bug, and Banana Bread, maybe with all the visual bouncing around the ambassador from a lot of characters near the end, didn't see it. And then Tflameee was able to find that win. The big question is, can you return that? Because otherwise, Tflameee is going to start out the set with a 2-0 lead. And so far, Tflame has shown to be very good at converting those.
Oh, we shall find out. There's no early flirt coming out of Banana Bread as of yet. Looked like he wanted it at the painting, but second target wasn't hanging around. Had a chance for an early contact, but while he was back there, the front conversation never really filled up all of that much, so it's a very slow start from Banana Bread. Let's see where he goes from here.
Yeah, not even getting the time ad, and we saw that Tflame was running into time troubles, and Tflame actually had a time ad that last game and did 2 hardtails, didn't never even finish the flirt, and we were still running into, we still got into overtime. This slow start makes me a little bit concerned. Like, yes, there's still enough time to do missions. There's 2:40 on the clock. Banana Bread might, yeah, this is going to be a time ad from Banana Bread. I think agreeing with me here. And time ads can be a little bit risky on Gallery, but in the middle of the game like this, T-Flame's watching a lot of other things. There's a lot of highlights in the back of the party. The ambassadors kind of being bumped with. It's a lot to ask for T-Flame to catch that timer going up right about now, even though it was that white test. So I think Banana Bread has gotten away with clean with this.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough start, though. White Test Flirt, our first bit of progress of the game, up to 28%. It's certainly not ideal, but we still do have 2 minutes and 45 to play after that time ad. Tried to get the contact from the outside, but there was only one spot available, and when Banana Bread slipped in there, it forced the double agent away.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Into the back we go, into the blue bookcase, so hopefully we'll be able to get something done with this, because Banana Bread definitely is going to need to pick up the pace throughout the rest of this game. Blue book
there's, of
comes
course, the
out,
thing.
into conversation we go, setting up for another flirt, and this is exactly the kind of stuff you want to do. Getting mission progress while you're getting mission progress. It's a white test for 62%, which is not in range for the 3 flirt.
The question is will we see this book go back into the right bookshelf? Will Banana Bread try to bait out maybe a low light, maybe a lot less suspicion by returning this correctly? And of course, that always does rely on asking yourself the question, does the sniper know where my book came from? Because if you think they do, returning it correctly can be a really good play. But if you think they don't, returning it correctly could actually just get you suspicion where you don't even have the mission for it.
Banana Bread.
There's the contact coming off. Minute
Twin
and
picks up a
20
highlight.
left to play, but that's a pretty good number of lowlights.
Yeah, I'm a little bit intrigued that Twin has picked up this highlight. Seek didn't get low lit despite being at statues during the contact with a statue in his hand. There's no way he could even possibly have split from anything. Twin at least was maybe seen as a splitter, even though he was pretty far away from the conversation at the time. But it might come back to bite T-Flame, especially if Seek, even if Seek doesn't get shot, if Seek's going to be doing some crazy things late in the game that's going to draw T-Flame's attention, that could cost Banana Bread being able to get their last mission by if this book goes back in the wrong bookcase.
Does hit the green test on the 3rd flirt, which was very much required. We're at the green bookcase right now, so as this book goes back, I don't think T-Flame is on top of this enough to take the shot for it, so we just need one more mission, but we've got 25 seconds to get it. That is a tall order.
Yeah, Purloin would be the most natural mission to go for right at the end here. Purloin or Swap, though, both in range. Bug has gone all the way outside, and we are requesting this drink now. So this is going to be a Purloin. This
I
is
don't know if it's
likely
gonna
going to
come
be a
off.
hang,
4
though.
seconds.
If it's a
It's
white
the white
test.
test. 1 second as the Purloin gets taken.
Smallman's
Here's
getting
a
a fingerprint at the very end here. It's
overtime.
gonna be
I
overtime.
think he's gonna try to duck and dodge, but it's not gonna matter. It's not the right shot, and Banana Bread answers back in game number 2.
Yeah, right at the end here, look at this. Smallman going into a statue that has a briefcase nearby it. And it's not actually a printable case because it was set down there earlier, but it's just such a big suspect this late in the game that T-Flame's not really watching for the Purloin and is instead looking at Smallman, realizing this could be a print finish for overtime, and takes that shot instead of seeing that the list was gone and realizing it couldn't be them. Very nice finish from Banana Bread, assisted by some active AIs right at the end.
Yeah, sometimes the party gives you a gift, but you have to be able to capitalize on the gift when it comes to you, and Banana Bread was able to do just that. Veranda is the next venue we go to, which is going to be 5 of 8. Tflameee on the Spy, Banana Bread on the Sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so far 2 Spy victories leading to a tied set. Not really what you expect coming out of Gallery, but that's not going to change the shape of the set going forward, whether or not those were Sniper victories. It's just a 1-1 set now.
Tflameee picking up the early flirt in conversation with the ambassador, 34% off of that, and Toby dropping in to say hi will immediately be ushered away.
Yeah, does not want that drink right now. Wheels also maybe looking like a potential suspect, joined next to the ambassador, could have picked up bug credit. No highlight or anything for that kind of thing. But you know, not everyone highlights for bug credit. So seeing Wheels reject as well, it could lead Tflameee to believe that they're a good frame target, especially since we just, you know, Tflamee's right there and watch that happen.
Oh, it'll certainly be something for Tflameee to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the venue. Green test on the second flirt after the timer expires will bring us up to 85%. So any flirt now will be good enough to finish that mission up. Out to the window we go. The time ad window on this particular venue, but I don't think Tflamee's going to take it because he's making decent time.
Yeah, so he is.
Back we go for the third flirt, not wasting any time on that one. There's the flirt done. But now we don't have that convenient flirt to go to between missions to keep making progress. So we'll see what Tflameee does moving forward, but usually spending all of your time plugging away at that flirt early on isn't necessarily the most efficient way to go about things. Looks like it's going to be a print next on the briefcase here, so that could be interesting moving forward as well.
I'd like, yeah, just put this right back down. Ambassador and attention is on the other side of the venue. There's a big chance that you were never seen picking up this briefcase, and getting that fingerprint without being seen is a huge boon going
Banana
forward.
bread.
That's a cough.
Ooh.
That's a cough. It was on camera. It wasn't too obvious. And he
Yeah.
didn't see the cough, but he is getting a few decent lowlights for it. So at least there's that.
I don't think we've gotten any more lowlights than would come from a normal contact. That said, there is this real contact highlight scheme coming out from Banana Bread here. Not that many people in for real, so picking up the highlight and we've only got contact and seduce done, well, we might have a sneaky fingerprint. It's still going to limit our options going forward, and we only have a minute 25, so it might be difficult to even find that second fingerprint.
So considering red test contact, not as bad as that's a swap! He swapped the statue! Ladies and gentlemen, everything's going awry!
I can't tell if that was
Wait a
intentional or
second!
not.
Banana Bread didn't check? Banana Bread doesn't know! I think now
yeah.
he might have seen the statue that got swapped, but I don't think Tflameee has suspicion for it.
Yeah, but we're going statue to statue, which has to elicit a lot of extra suspicion. There's also this slight chance we were never even seen at that statue, that the ambassador being on the other side of the venue, and we had that little bit of cover. Maybe we never got seen at the first set of statues, but Banana Bread just not checking this swap, and now we just need one more print, and we're gonna have ourselves a mission win countdown. I don't think we can do it here though. The briefcase is at our feet, but the ambassador's just a tad bit too close. But the ambassador takes a drink!
The ambassador takes a drink, but also we've put ourselves in position to be the person who is supposed to take that briefcase when the ambassador steps away. It doesn't matter because of the drink. There's the print. There's the countdown. A beautiful finish to the game from Tflameee after a truly terrifying swap. But that is going to be enough for a game win. It's 2-1 for Tflameee.
Yeah, and 3-0 to the Spies right now, which Gallery and Veranda, it's not really where you'd expect that to happen. But can Tflameee flip the script and keep a lead by getting the sniper win on Veranda? That's going to be the big question here. So we'll see if Banana Bread can do this. Going to be on Queen now, going into Veranda.
Certainly makes for some entertaining viewing as Banana Bread steps into the spy side, Tflameee on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Whew, that that swap was really interesting. I'm not even sure it was intentional. By the way, we do have this
Very early
time
time
ad,
ad.
which is interesting because time ad early is kind of a lot. For a sniper that doesn't watch time ad all the time and have a ironclad grip on time ad like they might have on some other things. Time ad at the beginning of the game is kind of where you might be watching it more than others. Time ad, at the beginning of the game, at the end of the game is when you're paying a little bit more attention to it just in case because it's chaos or the timer's about to be out. Middle of the game time ads can go surprisingly sneaky if you're not a suspect.
Banana Bread picking up 44% on the first flirt on a green test with a slight distance. So that is going to really ease off the pressure on positioning for future flirts. So that's always nice to see, not having to get too close to your seduction target.
Yeah, that's true. Ambassador is a step nearby, not close enough for a standing bug in this conversation, though, and Tflameee is staring it down regardless. I was wondering if we could maybe go for like a walking bug as Ambassador leaves this conversation, as he was going to get kicked out by the proximity meter, which the spy can see. So can use that to try to time some interesting bugs, but Banana Bread decides not to go for it, just keeping on the 44% mission progress right now.
And into red bookcase we go. So it's very much on camera. Tflameee is paying a decent amount of attention to it, but as swings all the way over to the other side of the venue, Banana Bread does not take the opportunity to pull out the microfilm, but rather just steps into conversation instantly. I wonder what that movement was from Tflameee, because that was odd.
I mean, there's no active reason, I guess, necessarily to be watching the left side of the party at that moment, because the ambassador's out front at statues, so isn't really in danger. You can see him from that angle anyways, and Toby's over on the right side, so maybe just wanted a better view of Toby. Wanted to make sure no one was at these statues. It is really weird to see the full rotation, though. I agree.
Out front we go once more, this time with the red book in hand. No time ad on the second watch check, as Banana Bread is going to try to slip his way back in and winds up back in conversation with the seduction target once more after almost missing his spot in conversation. The second flirt comes off for 78%.
Yes, good amount of flirt progress, but not good amount of time left. I'd be happy with this flirt progress if we got it in the first 45 seconds of the game. But right now, we're sitting with only a minute and 50 left on the clock. We've got this red book in hand, which can help. We're sitting in the contact with double agent.
Banana Bread.
So that is some
Contact,
progress.
there it goes. 2, 3 lowlights from it looks like. So that's not bad, all things considered. There was another one that happened at some point earlier on, but Tflameee does not have a ton of lowlights at this point in time, but Banana Bread doesn't have a ton of progress. Is able to finish up the flirt, though, so that's always nice to see. And if we throw this book back in green, that could be one mission to go with a minute left to play. Moving by the ambassador, we might be able to get a bug here. Does go for the bug, does get the bug, but also gets caught in the process. And finally, the snipers manage to find a way through, and Tflameee goes up by 2 points.
Yeah, the bug is a good attempt, especially with only 1 minute left on the clock. You're definitely going to want some kind of, more mission progress here. But, this bug is actually pretty good, and still, Tflameee just sees it and is confident enough to take the shot, which is very impressive, because if you get this bug by, even if it's just suspicion, you've got the microfilm done, and, there is also some chance that he knew where this book is from, and that contributed to the shot, of course. But this could have easily been the game-winning play from Banana Bread, but Tflameee shuts it right down.
Yeah, unfortunately, just started that bug a tad too early. So when the arm got thrown out there, it was not quite hidden behind the ambassador yet. So
Yeah, just just a little bit of visibility, maybe knowing that where that book came from, and Tflame gets that lead. And it's not unlike how their first set went. Tflame got a 3-1 lead coming out of the first two, the first venue, I guess, in SCL because it was doubled. And was just able to control that lead all the way down, splitting the rest of the venues from there on out, ending up with a 7-4 scoreline. So Banana Bread may be getting a little bit of flashbacks, needs to find a way back in this set soon, I should think, because it's not the longest set in the world. It's just 12 games. It's not over yet. T-Flame, still needs 4 more games to actually outright win. But you never like to be down. It's just not the most comfortable place to be. And T-Flame, again, has just been showing mastery over being able to hold leads, both in SCL against Banana Bread and in previous sets in this Winter Cup so far.
it's just one venue. It's very doable to come back from a deficit like that, but T-Flame is very good at holding on to these narrow margins. Let's see if he can keep it going, starting from the spy side of Pub in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All
And it
right.
is going to be an early flirt at the window once again. This one nice and snugly gets the 50% flirt, immediately steps into statue right afterwards as well. So this is a flying start from T-Flame.
Yeah, I love this. This is a strategy I like to champion on high rise 3 of 5 in particular, where you're just gonna go for these really quick, hopefully 2 green flirts, go to center statues and dare the sniper to shoot you. But on pub, you even have these other options of like going to statues and getting a delegate instead of
That's the
the
2 flirt.
That's the 2 flirt indeed. We could just finish missions with a contact right here, right now, except the double agent's not in conversation.
He's
However,
got a delegate.
it does look like the double agent's going to join into a conversation. I would be shocked if Banana Bread was able to shoot this.
This is so fast. Here's the contact coming. This is so fast. The
It's a
Banana
positioning
bread.
in
though.
conversation's a little bit weird. It is a white test as well, so that's... But he's taking the lowlights. I don't think he's going to take the shot on this. 1 second, and that's the game.
Yeah.
T-Flame, with a flying game of Pub, widens that lead yet more.
Yeah, widens that lead, assuming that they convert the sniper side, but, T-Flame is a really good sniper. And Banana Bread's going to be up against the wall just to keep the deficit close at this point. And yeah, this kind of game is just so hard to shoot for. You have to be right on top of every single flirt, and even then you have to say, I'm willing to bet that you hit this 2 green flirt, that this is the game you're going for. And it helps a lot if the contact's not that good, but this contact was pretty decent. It wasn't perfect or anything, but there were 3 lowlights at best. So
And for Pub, that is solid.
yeah, it's just so hard to take the shot, and Banana Bread unable to do so. Very, very understandably, but T-Flame in the driver's seat.
And on to the next one, as if T-Flame can find a way through on the sniper side here, it's starting to look like it might not be doable for Banana Bread, but he's still in it. Let's see if he can make it happen from the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, still in it indeed. We won't even see, even if T-Flame does win this game, right? We won't see a guaranteed draw quite yet. Because T-Flame will be at 5 points and need 6 for the guaranteed overtime. So Banana Bread could find that, reverse sweep to not even have to go into overtime still, but it's just such a big deficit to overcome, and you're already looking just to not lose, right? Before you're looking to win.
Early inspect coming out of Banana Bread, similar to T-Flame, except without that flirt coming in beforehand.
Without that flirt,
and without the
indeed.
flirt coming in afterwards either, because the seduction target's not having it.
Yeah, seduction target just walks to the outermost conversation, and you really can't follow that without feeling very, very obvious on a venue where the sniper is most definitely looking at flirts.
Well, back she comes. Right back to where she came from as well. So there's the first flirt. It is a white test, and it is only 31%, which is just barely not enough to allow you a 3 flirt on only white tests.
Yeah, the big boon here for Banana Bread is that there are quite a few people who have been to statues, so very, very easy to believe that you might get an AI shot this game. After all, it is pub 3 of 5, lots of AIs potentially completing, and if Tflameee thinks one of them has flirt when the contact comes off or when the Purloin comes off, that could end up being very, very good for Banana Bread. Teal, I think, is going to come back again, but just across the conversation, not really where we wanted her to be. So we've been sitting here in this conversation, and the one thing that you kind of hope Tflameee notices as Banana Bread, you want Tflameee to be pretty good at flirt tracking here. You've been sitting in this conversation for this entire time, but it's been kind of shifting around you. Not all of the same characters are there. Disney was there earlier, but now it's General, now it's Alice. These kind of things later on. So you're thinking, okay, hopefully Tflameee notices that it's not always the same character. I'm not really being credited with flirt, but it's looking bad.
Did manage to hit a green test on the second flirt, but it was so far away, that's only 57%, so we're going to need yet another to hit the green flirt. Does hit it, though! So the flirt is now done, but we still need another mission, and there's only 45 seconds left to get it. Contact is available, so that might be the thing we're going to try to get, but the double agent is heading into the bar.
Yeah, and that's a huge, huge problem right about now, because there's just zero way to find this contact, and even though Tflameee also probably knows at this point that Kane's the real double agent, or else you'd think at a contact would have come off by now. Instead, we'll pick up the delegate. I was interested to see if we were going to take the immediate Purloin, but I think that just gets a shot.
Going for the contact. It's going to be some overtime at least. It's going to be 5 seconds.
Banana Bread.
There's the contact. Doesn't have to take the shot yet. Is going to wait for the overtime. Has plenty of time for it. It's not the right shot. Pulls it out on Smallman instead. And Banana Bread keeping himself alive in the set, down just by 2.
I'm getting flashbacks, and maybe Tflameee is too, but this is the second time he's misshot Smallman this set.
Well, if it's overtime and you don't know who to shoot, Smallman's a good bet.
Yeah, and this actually demonstrates a little bit what I was talking about earlier, is that Tflameee probably knows that Kane's the real double agent here, because we did see 2 other highlights being in with the SDA, but because the contact never came off before, Tflameee ends up shooting someone who's in with the other double agent. I think makes the decision maybe on the fact that Smallman was talking and that we hit the green test. So maybe a pretty clutch green test there from Banana Bread, and keeps their hopes alive in the set, going into high rise 3 of 5, which is definitely somewhere you can make up 2 games.
Yeah, this is always an interesting venue to play on. Let's see what Tflamee's able to do with it from the Spy side first of all. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Starting slow in a lot of ways here.
A lot of ways. I think this might be the slowest character in the entire cast.
He is indeed, and we are talking to the second slowest right now, who's not even our seduction target. So Tflameee making a completely 180 turnaround here from the last game on pub. We do actually see Smallman, eater of bullets, going to center statues real early here.
I mean, on this venue, on the 3 of 5 setup, you can absolutely take your time. You've got plenty of time to take. 34% on the first flirt, and the selection target steps away, so we get some pretty quick movement on the flirtation cooldown. In fact, it expires now, and a green test on the second one brings us up to 85%. So what started slow became pretty fast right afterwards, and we were in conversation with the DA for a moment there as well, but he didn't feel like hanging around, unfortunately.
So we're definitely getting ourselves to that point on a high rise where you're thinking, all right, how do I want to complete this game, right? How do I want to either finish missions or induce a sniper shot onto an AI? Tflame is most definitely aware of the fact that Smallman has been to those center statues, um, so probably could look for something that frames them. We are going to finish up the flirt here just to give ourselves options. That is the big thing about high rise and going into the end game. You want to have the options and how to finish. And that's also how T-Flame's mission setup is. We have Perlin on with the fingerprints off. That's just
Banana
yet
bread.
more options to have in the late game. And we do see that contact coming off with General is in conversation. I think maybe T-Flame figured out who the SDA was. Can correctly get Smallman in for a contact after they have been center statues. So we'll see if Banana Bread can hold onto Smallman. Luckily for Banana Bread, they're not going anywhere that's flirtable.
Just the 3 lowlights coming out from the contact, was able to finish up the flirt as well with an entirely unnecessary green test. So 1 mission left to acquire, and 1 minute and 10 left to get it.
Yeah. Really quick watch check from Smallman. I don't know if that looks suspicious or not to Banana Bread, but that's the kind of thing you...
Oh, it's a bug coming across the back! It comes off beautifully! It was very well hidden! Is Banana Bread willing to take a shot at it? It looked like he was thinking about it for a moment, but does not pull the trigger. Tflame keeps the lead going. It's 5-2. This man does not slow down.
Yeah, what a nice bug. And the second thing about this bug that makes it so much better, and like you can hardly see this bug largely because of Irish giving us big cover. We also have small cover, not as much visually, but attention-wise. Smallman is approaching the ambassador in a potentially buggable manner, and I think that Banana Bread was watching Smallman, not us. I think that maybe if Smallman hadn't been doing that, this would have been suspected enough to take a shot, but instead, we find the mission win from T-Flame, and Smallman has just been the crux of this entire set so far.
Yeah, that arm clipping through the ambassador is absolutely visible, but if you're paying more attention to Smallman than to the Amba here, then it can very easily just look like a natural part of Pearl's animation, and I think that's what got Banana Bread caught on that one, so he's really got to start making up some ground here, and that means holding serve from the spy side of High Rise any 3 of 5, which is absolutely doable, but scary against Tflame in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, very scary indeed. And if you go down here, T-Flame has a few match points to debate with you over whether or not you're going to be able to come back in this set. You will need to find 4 games in a row just to go to overtime. It's not ever a place you want to be in when you're fighting for your tournament life. But T-Flame's trying to make it
Absolutely.
happen.
51% on the first flirt, Double Agent stepping in to say hi as well. And Smallman, as is per usual, has been high. Well, after that bouncing.
Yeah. I was laughing because I was like, T-Flame, haven't you learned your lesson by now? Why is Smallman a high lit? But then Smallman gave a very convincing reason to get low lit, which was like 4 or 5 balances against the SDA just perfectly. There's no way that you're ever
Yeah.
going to be able to get through there.
Yeah, that was just the most AI-like thing I have ever seen in my life, pretty much. 85% is now where the flirt stands after not being able to hit the green on the second one. So 2 minutes and 10 to play, but pretty good progress for it as well.
Indeed. Pretty decent progress here. I mean, it is 3 of 5, so as long as you're getting that seduction target finished and that contact done, properly framing some people, it's always going to be a fine option to find a way to finish this game. And you're always going to have those options, right? Bugs, purloins, getting someone shot, going to statues yourself even, although most spies don't like that option too much. Here comes a bug, though! It's going to be the
It's
really
a
not
pretty good bug. There's a little bit of a bounce there. Caught the angle out. It was worth a try. But it gets caught out by Tflameee, and that might just be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it's so just never take these bugs, by the way. They never land unless you do this awkward bounce that just shows the bug to the sniper, essentially, right? Like it lands here, but you're always gonna get shot for it. And instead, if you don't do this weird bounce, it's just not gonna take. So
This bug very this bug very well may have worked if Boots didn't start moving the moment she did, but Banana Bread had already mentally committed to this, and once you've decided you're going to go for this bug, it's very difficult to abort when something throws a wrench in your plans, in this case, Boots.
yeah, for sure. Oh man! All right, now we are on to the next venue, quite possibly the final venue. Tflameee could end the set right here, right now, with a spy win on Ballroom.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got one more venue to go, quite possibly. We could get more, but Banana Bread's gonna have to show some heroics, starting from the sniper side of Ballroom 4 of 8 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Starting off real early at bookshelves, maybe one wants to look for like an action test microfilm idea here. We don't really have much cover for it, but all of the interesting characters are on the other side of the venue. No, we're just gonna cheese this away. We might just be walking across the venue here, going straight to green. No, Tflameee decides to be a little bit more reserved than that.
So, blue book in hand is always nice, but we don't have to go crazy this early on. We might get the seduction target joining. Indeed, we do. It's not a great positioning, but it's still enough for 20% on the white test, which is bad, but at least it's free.
Yeah, 20% now off the flirt. I mean, it's not much progress, but we have a lot of potential progress here. If we end up returning this microfilm into green, that would be a whole mission done. And if it's clean, that could very well mean just an easy ballroom win.
And one of the great things about transfer is, yes, it often takes a lot of time to pull off, but it's one of the hardtails that doesn't leave a trace. There's the
Yeah.
flirtation cooldown. Another white test brings us up to 40%. So, I guess 4 flirt.
Yeah, no trace would be absolutely huge here. Like that's why bug is so good, because
There we
it's
go.
getting away with that means that you're just not credited the mission at all. And this is the moment of truth. Does Banana Bread remember where this book came from? And we pick up the highlight. So not willing to shoot for it, not that confident, but is thinking, all right, I don't know where this book came from, or I'm pretty sure that came from blue. Either way, we get in the credit.
Not certain, but it's looking pretty bad for Tflameee. Another white test brings us up to 74% on the flirt. And there's a quick little briefcase return with a fingerprint to boot. Back into statues we go for, I believe,
statue's
the
fingerprint.
next print. It
Yeah.
is indeed the next print. And man, Banana Bread must be starting to have a pretty itchy trigger finger here. Indeed, the shot comes off. Doesn't feel like waiting anymore. He's seen enough. The shot comes off, and Banana Bread keeps himself alive.
Yeah, Nostradamus over here, Turbo. Itchy trigger finger indeed. Just too much activity all at once from Tflameee, getting these fingerprints and statues and microfilms suspicions. Just too much. The Bennett Bread says no. Look, I know you've been doing well this set, but I'm not gonna let you have this one. And so that's now 6-3. It's step 1 out of 4 in bringing the set back.
It's doable. It's hard, but it is doable. Let's see if Banana Bread can keep it going from the spy side.
Banana Bread playing into Tflamee's nightmares here. Picks Smallman.
Oh no.
Is
All
that a good
right.
idea or a bad idea? Well, only time will tell.
From my perspective, it's a fantastic idea. As Tflame, we'll see how he reacts to this. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
The problem is that, Tflame has had a penchant for shooting Smallman in the past few games, and I'm not sure we want to play into that. Of course, I think the main thing is you're trying to say, all right, you're gonna overcorrect here. You're gonna be like, I can't be, I'm not gonna shoot Smallman again, am I? And be wrong again.
Just hope the man
Try
has learned his lesson.
exactly. I've learned my lesson. Oh wait, that was actually the spy this time.
61% on the flirt already, so it's a bit of a flying start from Banana Bread here. A white into a green, and we might be able to pick up a 3 flirt here if we get a little bit closer from... Or, maybe even if we hit a green test from here, but it's kind of far away for that, so I'm not really sure. Banana Bread is indeed going to move a little bit, so 3 flirt is still very much a possibility.
Yes,
Here we
it
go.
is. Three flirts always a possibility, basically, unless like your first 2 flirts are absolutely terrible.
And he does hit the green, so it's maybe a 3 flirt, but it was a pretty damn fast one. 2 minutes and 10 left on the clock with no other progress as of yet, but that is still doing decently well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely frees up your pacing for the rest of the venue here, so you have a lot of options on how to go forward. The, the big question is, when will Banana Bread make that decision? Because just because you have a lot of options doesn't mean that you won't be paralyzed by them. We're going to step into blue bookcase here.
Not super visible either, with a little bit of a conversation in the way. We're still probably going to get seen there, but actually, maybe not. Smallman is a very sneaky gentleman, after all, and Banana Bread sets up for the Banana Bread.
Yeah, setting up for the contact here is very good, but
Nope, double agent steps away.
we are no longer setting up for the contact. And now time is maybe getting to us just a little bit here.
Yeah, this is starting to become problematic. This book absolutely has to go down in green. We gotta find the contact somewhere, and the last one is probably either going to be a bug, a
Well, we
purloin,
could do a
or an
bug here. We've got
eccentric
a lot of
statue
cover,
visit.
but the ambassador leaves.
Yeah, Ambassador stepped away, and we couldn't take the wrong arm, and we couldn't take the reverse drive-by, sorry, because of that book in hand. Goes to Windows for a time ad, so that might be a little bit late picking up, but yeah,
Oh
it
no,
is.
the shot comes off, and Banana Bread.
Tflame manages to pay enough attention to the clock to see that the color changed quite obviously from red to green again, and that's not good. We don't like it when that happens.
No, no, indeed, we do not. And that will be the set. Tflame takes a pretty convincing win over Banana Bread, 7-3 here. Very nicely done. Just finding those spy wins, and Banana Bread could not hold. It's been a kind of a miracle run for Banana Bread with all of these overtimes, all of these close wins, but Tflame finally shutting them down and moving on to the semi-finals versus Urand.
Yeah, he hung in there for a while, but wasn't necessarily enough, and Tflame versus Urand is certainly going to be a fun one.